Hello and welcome back to another We Ourselves video. As we move closer and closer to the premiere of the new Disney Plus show, Ironheart, I decided to make my own comments, but what I want to say is just my initial impressions of the upcoming show. Now, first up, I just want to say that I'm not a big comic book nerd. I like comic books. I've collected comic books throughout my life, but I haven't been an in-depth nerd. There are some comic runs that I always followed, but I had a friend who was the big collector, and I was just simply borrowing his. I'm saying that to say that I did not follow Ironheart in the comic books, so I'm not approaching my analysis or my feelings on the trailer and the upcoming show based on comic book knowledge. I will leave that to the other Black YouTubers who do an excellent job of bringing that information to us, because I think what they do is truly important. But what I want to say is just my initial impressions of the upcoming show. Ironheart follows the events of the film Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. MIT student Riri Williams returns home to Chicago, where she becomes entangled with the enigmatic Parker Robinson, the Hood, discovering secrets that pit technology against magic and setting her on a path of danger and adventure. And of course, the show stars Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, Ironheart. First of all, we were introduced to Ironheart in Wakanda Forever, and I have to say, like a lot of people, her character irritated me, but we did find out some things about her. Supposedly, she's a teenager, and I have to say that Dominique Thorne does not look like a damn teenager. Yes, she can be a young adult who's in an advanced degree at MIT, but she does not look like a teenager anyway, anyhow. Sorry. But anyway, you find out that she's at MIT. She made a device that could detect vibranium. And so Shuri and Okoye, they go there to get her and they find her, and then they end up bringing her back to Wakanda to protect her, which leads to the whole problem with the Talokans or Talikans, or however you want to say it, and Namor. But I have to say, throughout the movie, her character irritated me. But I will check out the show. The trailer looks interesting. The suit looks really nice. I like the intrigue. I like the mixture of magic. You have the character, the Hood. Again, I'm not a big comic knowledge person when it comes to these characters. So I'm going to take them for what they're worth. And I just have to say that that's what I do in my screenwriting cohorts. When people come to me, they have their screenplay, they have their ideas, I meet them where they are, and it's like, okay, let's sit down, let's make this idea work. Let's make what you've already written, let's tweak it and make it work. So for me, regardless of what their comic book origin was, I'm taking these characters as they are presented to me by the MCU. And so from that standpoint, I just have to ask a couple of important questions. And again, I'm going to check out the show because I've checked out all the shows, I've checked out all the movies. But I have a question, and it's a topic that I talk about all the time when it comes to the Black characters in the MCU. And that's the fact that the MCU has gone out of its way to subvert their own proven, successful process at characterization in order to give us broken Black characters and Black storylines. And so I have to ask the question, are they going to do the same thing to Dominique Thorne's character, Riri Williams? And given the fact that one of the executive producers is Ryan Coogler, and we know how he loves to give us broken Black families, the odds are that we're going to have another situation with a broken family, namely no father. Now, I know some of you saying, but we were told in Wakanda Forever that her father had died and that she used to work on the car with the father and had his tool sets, and that's part of the reason why she got into doing what she's doing. All of that is great. But I still have this question because we have been shown over and over again in Marvel, in the MCU, and outside that when it comes to female characters in particular, they always manage to give us that father figure, whether the father is still alive or they have passed. Echo's dad was dead. They went back in time with flashbacks to show us her relationship with her father. It's what motivated her. Kate Bishop's father is dead, but they went backwards to show that interaction with the father. We saw that interaction with Wanda Maximoff and her father and mother, who are also dead, but they went back to show us that interaction. But under Ryan Coogler and under the Disney process, the Marvel process, the Black women do not get that same father treatment. As bad as She-Hulk was, That scene where her dad, played by Mark Lynn Baker, they go into the garage and he turns to her and he says, okay, tell me what's going on. Those are crucial moments that all the other leading women actors and characters in the MCU have received in one way or the other. The only exception is Captain Marvel, who had a one-note dad, but even then you got the flashbacks of the dad. But because she did not have that kind of relationship, her character really never caught on, and she always remained stiff to people, men and women. So I have to ask, are we going to do the same thing to Riri Williams that we've done to all the leading black women in the MCU? And my bet is yes, but you don't have to. Why? Because even though her father is dead, we have examples of how to deal with that. In fact, we have a very similar example with, of all people, Haley Steinfeld. When she played Charlie Watson in the Bumblebee movie, just like Riri Williams, her father had died, but before he died, they used to work on a car together. And so when you meet her in the movie, she is trying to put the car together to make it work, even though other people are saying it won't happen. She is driven to do that because it's a point about her character and who she is. And it's ironic that she is now in Ryan Coogler's movie. Ryan Coogler is the executive producer of Ironheart, and Haley Steinfeld is now in the MCU. And once again, we got a chance to see her get information and life lesson type of stuff from her father, who is now dead. So Haley Steinfeld and two different huge franchises was given time with her father, who had passed away. There are multiple ways to do that if you are a truly creative writer and director and executive producer. So I have to ask again, when it comes to Riri Williams, are they going to give us a flashback of the time when she was working on the cars with her dad? My bet is we won't get that, because they haven't done it at all for any of the black women, and I would be highly surprised and shocked if they do it this time. And if they do, I will be the first one to come on here and acknowledge that they finally started giving our black characters complete story arcs. They gave them the complete characterization and elements that make them empathetic and sympathetic leading characters. But the record for the MCU is that you give us broken characters. As I said in another video that's coming out, they give us the broken activation code. There's a part of the sequence that's missing so that these characterizations, instead of activating us, the intended audience, we get broken stories, broken characters, broken families. And so as I look at the Ironheart series, I can be guardedly optimistic, okay, that despite all the whiz-bang flash and the computer technology and stuff like that, and how good the suit look and the intrigue and the mystery and stuff like that, unless you have that basic characterization intact and it is a solid activation code that is going to work and make her a true leading character, like all the other white characters and characters of color who aren't black, unless you're willing to do that, this show is going to fail. And the character is going to fail just like all the other black characters in the MCU. And that is my real concern with this upcoming show. It has nothing to do with whether she's copying Iron Man or anything like that. Again, shout out to all the other YouTube channels that have given us the background on Riri Williams as a character in comics before she came to the MCU. What I am concerned with is where we are now. Is Marvel going to do justice to yet another black character who's supposed to be a leading character? The history has shown that they have fallen far short of doing justice to these black characters, particularly under the guidance of Ryan Coogler and or Nate Moore. And so I just hope that doesn't happen with Ironheart, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you the next time.